Cool. John, obviously, again, not the result you would have wanted today, and I guess the obvious thing is it's now 3 goals without a game scored by your side. You were getting the ball into the opposition half, but just couldn't find the final ball. Could you figure out what went wrong today?
Yeah, didn't score. We dominated, completely dominated. Happy with the performance, disappointed with the result. Scored 2 goals that got disallowed. That happened. Hit the crossbar, got into really good areas again, had chances. Scotty made an unbelievable save with a deflected shot. It didn't go in. But in terms of performance, you keep performing like that, the goals are going to come, the results will turn. So the boys know that. The boys kept going right to the end against a team that sat off, made it difficult. The pitch was dry today because we weren't able to water it, so it makes it a little bit slower. And when a team sits off like that, you want to move the ball quick. And, you know, they played to, you know, when they were 1-0 up, they wasted time. I'm not saying that they did the wrong thing. I'm saying that there was a lot of stoppages and it tried to slow the game down, and that happened a bit in the second half.
So from that answer there, I think I'm taking from it that you think once the goal does come, they will begin to flow, and it's just about finding that one breakthrough?
Yeah. Well, you know football.
Yeah.
I've been involved in football for a number of years. When you keep performing like that, the goals will come. They'll come.
Unfortunately, I can't quote myself when it comes to knowing that sort of football stuff.
Yeah.
But today, how much just was it a sucker punch just before half time? You've been playing so well, and then they go up one end from the other. Goalkeeper Stammer scores. Just how much was a sucker punch to that for the boys at half time?
That can happen in football. We understand that. You know, I think in the first half they probably entered our half twice. It can happen. You know that they scored one goal, but you know we know that you can go a goal behind, and it is a bit of a sucker punch. But you just have to keep playing and going. And we tried in the second half. Like I said, there was too many stoppages for my liking in the second half. They ended up, you know, I think they get the 16 fouls to our 8. You know, just the VAR took a long time, you know, with the penalty shout, and then there's, you know, more stoppages, and then throw-ins were taking their time, and goal kicks are taking their time, and kicking the ball away. And, you know, I'm not blaming them because they played the game to win, which is fair enough. I'm just saying that it will just stop-start, that's all. But in terms of sucker punch, yeah, it can happen. You know, they didn't really create a great deal other than that. And I watched them last week against the Wanderers, and they created a lot of chances. So they're a hard team to play against. And with the performance, we're pleased. With the result, obviously not.
Bringing on Nikita 60th minute for Noah, was that just tactical? Did Noah pick up a knock?
No, Noah's he's had a bit of a groin issue the last few days, and I just felt that he was looking a little bit heavy. So we decided to freshen it up with Nikita, and you know, he was unfortunate. He scored a good goal, but you know, offside, and also he got it into the area a few other times that just wouldn't fall for him. But you know, he was making good runs and was getting good positions. So you know, slowly he's building his fitness, and that will also help, you know, Noah when Nikita can start games, because he's got that experience that will help the younger players around him.
Noticed on my way down you're in a pretty deep-looking conversation with his CEO, Chris Pallavanis. He was looking lots of hand gestures and the like. What was that conversation?
Because he hasn't been involved in football as long as I have, so he couldn't believe that we didn't win the game. And I said that's part of football. It's part of football, you know. There's nothing too in depth. It was just about, you know, the game in general. But you know, there was nothing that interesting. It was more about the game and how it's the most comfortable I've felt in a game since I've been at the club. That we come away with a loss, but again, we have to keep on performing well, and the results will turn.
Nikita's been off the bench in the last 2 games. You now got the international break. You play Adelaide United here again 2 weeks from now. Do you consider starting him in the next contest?
Well, that depends on how the next 2 weeks go. Nikita did arrive pretty late into pre-season, so we'll see. We'll see how he goes. We'll see how Noah pulls up after his under-23 camp. They're going to Saudi Arabia, so look, 2 weeks is, you know, still a while away.
Do you continue with the same process in terms of up front and sort of hope that the next game can yield those goals, or do you think about making some changes or doing something differently at training over the next 2 weeks to try and get that elusive goal?
No, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but over the years of playing and coaching, when you're creating chances and you're controlling a game, you don't want to change too much. You just want to keep making sure that you get better at it, and then keep on improving, and the chances will still come, and we'll still get and we'll get goals. That's the way that I look at it, and it's happened in the past that it's turned pretty quick.
John, that Adelaide game, is it already shaping up as a bit of a must-win early in the season? Or at least getting a point from it, because you don't want to have to play so much catch-up as the year goes on?
Every game's a must-win. We want to win every game. We tried to win today. We played the game to win. We didn't play to not win. But we're not going to become anxious about winning. We have to make sure that we keep on doing the right things and play our football and because when you start to become anxious that you need to win, then players aren't free. So we saw in the first half, especially with Daniel, and Daniel hasn't played a lot of football of late. In the first half, because he was playing with freedom and then not worrying about the result, he was causing them all sorts of trouble, and it was unfortunate he didn't score.
And I guess with the international break, as you said, Noah goes away with the Olyroos. What are your plans for that international break, and do you have any fitness or injury concerns coming out of this game today?
No, we're hoping that we can get a couple of players back from injury, Jacob Tradd and James Donachie in that period. So and then we'll probably look to play an internal game next weekend sometime, so we can get minutes into players' legs like Rami Nazarene and players that haven't played a lot of football, Reece Bozanowski, and then the ones that have been out injured. So it's an important week for us. It's a good week. The actual the international breaks come at a good time because we were able to get players back in.